Hey everybody, Ola aka ChalkOne here with my last DayZ survival video. The previous two videos talked about fishing and hunting, so basically consider yourself in possession right now of some raw meat, whether that be fish or raw meat from an animal that you killed. You don't want to eat these meats raw. You can do that, but it will basically most likely make your character sick, so you're going to want to cook it. First of all, you want to make sure that you have a knife, especially in the case of the fish, so that you can fillet the fish, because you can't cook the fish whole. And then there's two options. So you can either use a campfire to cook them on, which takes a little bit of resources to construct, or you can use a cooking pot on a gas stove, which is fairly frequently found laying around supermarkets and a variety of buildings. In that case, you're going to want to have a propane canister, one of the little blue ones. You're going to want to have the cooker stove top that attaches to that. You put them together, which gives you the final item, which you basically just place on the floor, and then when you look at it, you'll get an option to turn it on. So now you have a propane grill cooker ready to go. You'll see the blue flames. You're going to need a cooking pot to put the items into, and you can find those laying around various places, and they're actually not bad to carry around, because they'll save you a couple inventory slots if you put your raw meat inside them and then carry them with you. Basically, you put the cooking pot onto the gas stove and you just watch it, and you have to pay attention. The biggest thing here is to watch the meat that you're cooking, because you don't want to let it burn. Once it's burned, it's just as bad as eating it raw. You can still eat it, but in some cases you'll get food poisoning. I ate some and I was fine. My friend in the game, you see in the video, ate some and she ended up with food poisoning after, so that's not so fun. Now, with the cooker, it's a little bit more complicated, because you actually have to right-click on the pot and view its contents so that you can see the items cooking. You'll see them sort of getting darker and darker red, that's as the item is heating up. And you want to constantly keep putting your mouse over top of it and checking the status of it. The picture will change as well. It will change from the raw meat to cooked meat to burnt meat, and it goes from cooked to burnt rather quickly. So as soon as it hits cooked, make sure you drag it into your inventory and take it off the stove. I don't know, this is a bit of speculation. I had a real hard time not burning things in the cooking pot, and I have a feeling that maybe I should have turned the gas stove off once it started boiling, because you can tell it starts making the boiling sounds and there's steam coming everywhere, so that might be a hint, but I can't really confirm that. Now, the fireplace, or the campfire, requires a few items to put together first. You're going to need some wooden sticks. You can get them if you find firewood or chop down a tree, or you can also just find them in the woods if you search for kindling. Either way, you're going to need some wooden sticks, and you're going to need some bandages or rags. Now, you combine the rags or bandages with the wooden sticks to craft a fireplace starter kit, I think it's called, which basically you can place on the ground, and that gives you the base for your fireplace. You're also going to need some firewood, which is basically one large log, and optionally a stone. Now, the significance of the stone I'm not quite sure about. I read that it may have to do with the fact that with the stone it will be a little bit more lenient as far as overcooking meat, but I don't know. You're also going to want some matches so you can light the fire. Once you place it on the ground, put the matchbox in your hands, look at it, you'll get the option to ignite it. It certainly looks cooler than the little camping stove, but it does take a little bit more effort. However, once you put the meat and the items, or fish, whatever, on there, you don't have to open up a cooking pot to see the contents inside to make sure you don't overcook them. So I found it a little bit easier to keep an eye on those items. Again, they'll go from cooked to burnt very quickly, but this is kind of a cool way if you want to play DayZ and be a survivalist. If you don't want to go into the cities to find canned food, you can certainly fish and hunt and then prepare it at your campsite now that persistent items are in. So that definitely offers an alternative gameplay style to what we've had in DayZ Standalone up to this point, which is great. Hopefully we'll see less people killing each other for food. In the grand scheme of things, I still find it easier to scavenge for food than to hunt for it and fish for it. It just seems a lot easier to go into a town and find a bunch of canned beans and eat those. But if you want to be a purist, and if that's the kind of gameplay you want to play, the options out there, and it is a lot of fun, and certainly campfires are cool to sit around with your friends in game and just sort of shoot the shit. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, hopefully you learned something. Give it a try. It takes a bit of effort to make this happen, and you end up quite, carrying a fair amount of stuff around with you, so ideally This is something that if you're playing in a persistent server, you're going to want to have at a campsite somewhere. Thank you for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Leave me some comments, and we'll see you again for another DayZ video sometime soon.